And if we try to fit the entire history of our world into one book, we humans would only be opening the chapter on goodness. I am a small part of a short chapter on the last page, but this book has many chapters whose some pages are untouched. And one of them is the mystery of the world. Woolly mammoth. Just as the dinosaurs ruled their world during the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods, we can say that mammoths ruled the earth during the Ice Age. Covered in fur, these giant ancestors of elephants truly lived on a thawed earth, but thousands of years ago, they suddenly vanished without any clear reason. The population decreases, and about 4,000 years ago, the world's last mammoth made its final attempt to survive. This seemingly invincible and magnificent animal disappeared so quickly, and to find out why we need to go through those lost pages, the heart that is poverty smiles die, we need to find it again. To unravel this mystery and find out more, do plenty of research. Now, if we want to solve the mystery behind their extinction, we must reach out to a forensic expert or a desert, seeing through the eyes of a detective. So we start the investigation just like a murder case would be investigated, standing with the dead. Now I know, unlike an actual murder case, we don't have a fresh body available here, but there's no need to panic, because mammoths were so successful in their time at increasing their numbers that they literally spread all over the world. Archaeologists have found mammoth bones from every corner of the world. Not only this, but in August 2010, researchers in the Klondike goldfields of Yukon Territory, Canada, found a mammoth's bone. A fossil was found, and this fossil is likely the most well-preserved fossil to date. I do well. It looks like it died just a few days ago, and carbon dating showed that this child's death happened from about 30,000 years ago, when its body is trapped in permafrost ice, meaning ice that never melts. Normally, after any animal dies, the bacteria in the body and the oxygen in the atmosphere cause a their muscles start to decay. Therefore, archaeologists mostly find only the prehistoric animals' bones. But away from atmospheric oxygen in permafrost ice to be trouble. These bodies still look so lifelike today. With its help, we can learn a lot about the physiology of mummies that we normally can't know from just bones. This allows us to visualize with quite certainty how they would look. What color would their skin be? Imagine how big their ears and trunks must have been, and basically every muscle that decomposes over time we'd observe directly with this body. You know, many scientists have genuine misunderstandings when looking at such dead remains. There was a funny incident when people in ancient Greece found a fossilized mammoth skull. It was discovered, and at that time, just by looking at its skull without any soft tissue, they thought this would be an animal that it would have only one eye. It would look like humans, just many times bigger in size. And somewhat like this, the myth of the giant cyclops became famous. In today's era, the rethinkers had quite an understanding of memes. This allows us not only to understand their life, but also a lot about their extinction. So let's go see the body of a mammoth we have. So now let's move to the next step of our investigation towards the most likely and obvious murder suspects. In this whole situation, we are seeing a change in climate and environment. Mammoths were about the size and looked quite similar to today's elephants. Large body, big skull, strong long legs, tusk protruding outward, and a strong muscular trunk. But there are some things that are exactly the same, which are not different. And obviously, the biggest difference is what grows on their bodies. Talk to your people properly. Now, elephants today do not grow hair on their bodies because they live in a warm tropical environment. To keep their bodies cool, the ears of modern elephants are larger than those of mammoths, allowing them to more effectively radiate heat from their bodies. In addition to this, we can study the footprints of modern elephants. The tail is also longer than that of mammoths, and it has some hair at the end. This tail helps elephants ward off flies. Now, if you look at the body of mammoths, so looking at this, you can definitely say that they must not have to endure much heat, nor do they have any problem with mosquitoes. Because in the cold climate of the Ice Age, mosquitoes couldn't survive, and that's why to this day, scientists have not found a single mosquito in Antarctica. Mammoths also had smaller ears so they could retain heat. It starts to trap the heat in the body, do not radiate outward. So it obviously means magnets in their cold environment. We need to live right here. And they exclusively evaluate. What I mean is their strength is their weakness. And how did this happen? Paleontologists find out about Earth's past environment and climate with the help of fossils preserved in rocks. For example, the rings in fossilized trees. By looking at them or analyzing the calcium rings on the shells, by analyzing the layers of permafrost, it is also possible to get an estimate of the past climate, and it is with this help that we know today millions of observers held their eyes. About 14,000 years ago, Earth's temperature began to rise again. Perfectly adaptable. The increasing atomic, they do it with Mammoth. For this, even more extreme is considered. But as detectives, we can't just jump to conclusions. We need to gather clues to support this hypothesis. And we found a clue. Spartacentedecosias, inside the intestines of a mammoth. Yes, some mammoth fossils are so well preserved that their fur and even the last meal eaten inside their intestines is still there. Crazy, right? By analyzing this, we know what the diet of mammoths usually look like. They mostly ate grass growing on the ground and small trees and plants. They were completely herbivorous. Looking at this, archaeologists found that as the temperature increased, plants received more sunlight, moisture, and even heat is present. Because of them, mammoth's food source, which was grass, doesn't have enough space to grow. Now, today's elephant makes a herd. In a day, 150 to 200 kilograms of grass, small plants, bushes, fruits is mayu. If twigs, tree bark, and roots are chewed up, assume mammals' diet would be similar, if not more so. So, is this sudden climate change close to the extinction of mammoths? What could have been the reason behind it? Well, probably yes, but it can't just be one reason. A case is not solved this easily. There was another reason behind their extinction. And that reason is for grazing predators. Oh yes, in size, these mammoths were literally like tanks. And just looking at their huge tusks, it seems like any animal would think 10 times before messing with them. Nah. But if we see, even today's forests have many predators hunting these, like lions, tigers, elephants. Yes, it's impossible for a single predator to overpower an elephant. And that's why lions hunt in packs. And just like that, prehistoric saber-toothed cats, which were even more powerful than today's lions and tigers, but not wolves. In mammoths, it must have been hunted, because some bones of mammoths have been found that bear marks of these predators' teeth and claws. Look at this, the teeth marks of wolves on the bone of this mammoth's leg. And here's a pelvic bone with hyena bite marks. But now look at this fossil. There are no marks of claws or teeth from any wild animal on it, but the analysis says that certainly no predator has hunted it. This mammoth didn't die from teeth or claws, but from a blunt death. Numerous cave paintings have also been found that depict humans hunting prehistoric animals. You see, Ice Age humans utilized every part of the mammoth. Some use was derived. They used to make clothes from the wool and skin of mammoths. They used the bones to pitch their tents. And with the help of tusks, they made weapons. And carvings were made. Looking at the figures of the bones, 64 individual mammoth skulls were found in a single large cave. Can you imagine that? It does this a lot in the suggestion. The largest predators. So, did humans play the biggest role in the extinction of mammoths? Discredit all you want, but blaming humans for everything isn't fair. They and there are many missing links here. So, we get another clue from the environment at that time and the animal behavior caused by that environment. If we consider all the factors discussed earlier, so Due to the lack of food and the increase in the number of predators, mammoths had to migrate to farther places to save their lives. And they started migrating to areas where their lives were at risk. Especially because those places were new to them. And this is another reason why eventually mammoths across the world started to become extinct. Except a small island form of the Arctic Ocean. We have a new clue archaeologists want to find out from researching on this island. That some 4,000 years ago on a tiny Wrangel island in the Arctic Ocean were the world's last mammoths. A small flock in this world full of changing climate and predators. He survived alive, but due to very few resources on the island, malnutrition, and become victims of many genetic diseases. And today, to do 3,600, even the world's last Muhammad on this island had to do it. Always have bananas over your eyes. Considering all these factors, the answer is right in front of us. So there is no zig in the video, no zig for genetic mutation. Mammoths were eradicated from the world. The final piece of this case still needs to be put in place. Harvard University's genetics professor George Church, who is quite famous for his genome sequencing and gene splicing, he believes that by extracting mammoth DNA from well-preserved mammoths, a mammoth clone can be created. This means now you understand case reopens, meaning we might be able to bring the mammoth back to life once again. What do you think now? If this could be possible, should we do it? Should we really clone the mammoths? This would be a bad idea. Write your answer below in the comment section, and if you learned anything new from this video, I'll be but beauty best. Make sure to like, subscribe, subscribe to the Get Simplified Science channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on our upcoming videos. See you next time, friends. Till then, as always, stay curious, keep learning, and keep growing.